I can't watch any women without putting on my soy blockers because it lowers my testosterone level, and we simply can't have that. This is explaining nose ring theory.
Again, guys, I've got a fun one for you today that I think you're gonna find interesting. Nose ring theory. And I just know that when I say that, half of you are gonna be confused, and the other half of you somehow know exactly what I'm talking about, even if you've never heard of it before.
Let me guess. It's a physiognomy check. If a girl has a nose ring, conversely, if a man has a mustache, because they are equivalent in the year 2025, you can assume certain ideological/political beliefs.
I will explain everything I've learned about this theory, show you some examples, and then give you my 2 cents on this whole thing. So to take you on the journey that I went down to get here, I'll show you the video that I first saw that introduced me to this whole thing.
So I'm 24 years old, and I've been trying my hand at dating men specifically for probably about 5-6 years now, in a serious way. I'm single at the moment. My boyfriend and I just broke up recently.
Now, I've heard the idea that some women get nose rings because it acts as repellent for men. It's like this aesthetic signal. It's like, if you're not okay with my nose ring, then I don't even want to date you in the first place.
And I have probably dated about like 4 to 5 men, seriously. Keep running into the same issues every single time I date a man, and I've been trying to like really get to the root of what it is. And now I know what you're thinking, you probably have a type. I do not have a type. These men don't know each other, they're not friends, they're not from the same area, they don't look alike. I really do not have a type. The only thing that these men have in common is that they
I just don't find it attractive or appealing in any way.
are men. I really have been reflecting a lot and trying to figure out what like the root of all these issues is. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not perfect, but I'm not the reason that any of these relationships ended. One of the main issues that I've come to recognize is that I don't think men are really socialized to know what it means to truly love someone, like love their partner and care for their partner. Obviously, I'm not saying this is all men, but I think it's just not normalized for them to like, I don't know, just like, I guess I don't know how to phrase it. What I'm saying, for example, is that every single one of these men individually has looked me in my eyes and told me that I am the love of their life, I'm the most important person in their life.
Now, when it comes to archetypes and phenotypes, everyone jokes about, I want a goth mommy to step on me, right? Are these girls performatively sad and dark and gothic because it is a fetish in and of itself? So you get attention from it? Or are they really about that life? Like, I don't even know what that means, though. What is that life? Is it a personality that you lean into and it becomes part of yourself? The e-girl epidemic?
That they would take a bullet for me, and every single one of them has treated me horribly, okay? I don't know about you, but when I tell somebody they're the love of my life and that they're the person I care about the most, I show it. I'm treating them accordingly. Part of it that really trips me up is that they believe it. They actually believe in their heart that I'm the love of their life and I'm the person they care about the most. I start calling it out. I would be like, you do not love me and you do not care about me. Like, point blank, period. Otherwise, you wouldn't be treating me badly. And they will argue and they get genuinely, offended. They get offended. I honestly pity them because I don't think they're socialized to know what that means. And, I don't know how to get it across.
I don't even know what she's ranting about, to be honest. All this petty relationship shit. I'm a 27-year-old man with a mortgage, okay? Every time I step outside, $400 leaves my bank account. I can't be listening to a random girl on the internet rant about her boy problems. I cannot even pretend to care.
In a meaningful way to them. They just don't listen. And I'll be like, okay, you wouldn't have done this bad thing to me if you actually loved me in the way that you say you do. That is not what love is. That's not what love is. When you love someone, you don't do things to intentionally or even unintentionally hurt them. Why is that considered love to you? I'm just I don't know where it's coming from. I honestly pity them because that has to be awful, but I can't handle it anymore, dude.
So in this video,
she probably dates guys under 32. None of them have developed empathy yet.
This girl is describing her troubles with finding a good man. She insists that she doesn't have a type, that none of these men really have anything in common, but for some reason, in the end, they always end up treating her horribly. And this led many in the comments to speculate that it must be something about her that is the common denominator. And unfortunately, since it's such a short TikTok video and we don't really get much insight onto greater parts of her personality, and she's not very open about what her most major flaws are.
She didn't even point out a single instance of like what her actual issue was. It was just these vague, I'm 14 and this is deep Reddit tier ramblings.
To figure out why she's attracting such mean men or why her relationships are
I wouldn't even call them men. They're probably boys. As Jordan Peterson would say, oh, a 17-year-old boy is not an attractive creature. You have no bitches, no hoes, no bread. Your room's dirty. Start by cleaning it.
Is driven to turmoil. People began to theorize, because it's one of the most noticeable things about her, that it could potentially have to do with the amount of piercings she has. In fact, these two comments right next to each other say, the piercing theory is so true, with over 700 likes. And again, don't know, don't care, nose ring theory, with over 1,200 likes. So you might be wondering, like I did, what about having a bunch of metal in your face would cause someone to treat you poorly? I mean, sure, the style isn't everyone's type, but these men were clearly attracted enough to her to date her, so then what is it that's causing the relationships to not go well? So I decided to look into what these men were referencing when they talked about the piercing theory or the nose ring theory. And this was the top video I found.
Have y'all ever heard of the septum piercing theory?
I haven't until today. Thank God.
If you have a septum piercing, you may not want to look it up, but I'm always the last person to hear about shit. So, this is common knowledge. It's dead ass. It's actually dead ass. Because it says that every person that has a septum piercing makes their trauma their entire personality.
I'm trying to think back personally if that's true, and it seems to be checking out.
And she agrees? It's dead ass.
Like I said, dead ass.
Damn, straight from the horse's mouth. Or maybe I should say straight from the bull's mouth. You know, because you get it. And if even the person with the nose ring is saying it's true,
Listen. Funny sentiment, but the delivery was just not there.
I mean, there's gotta be something there. And this is just even more...
Chat, statistically speaking, one of you has a nose ring. Show yourself so I can ban you. Septum piercing daughter or motorcycle YouTuber son?
hilarious when we take that theory and then reference back to the first video where the girl was making her relationship trauma her entire personality. Okay, that might have been a little reductive. After all, it was just one video. Surely her entire profile isn't like that.
Yo, you guys never told me how cool it is to have a dad. Like, this is a secret that's been kept from me, okay?
I mean, this is just an anecdote designed to be inflammatory. It's too on the nose.
I grew up with 3 moms. My mommy issues are off the charts.
Okay, sure.
I don't even think she's telling the truth here. I grew up with 3 moms? How is that even possible? That's a coven. That's a longhouse.
I mean, so maybe she doesn't have a dad and has a ton of self-proclaimed mommy issues, but that doesn't mean trauma's her entire personality.
I have psoriasis. Not like a little psoriasis, like all over my entire body. When I tell you, my whole body looks like this.
Okay, so she has a bit of medical trauma too.
She was raised in a witch's den.
But I mean, there's more to her.
Nothing normal can ever happen to me. I think I attract chaos.
Okay, so attracting chaos, it might be a little red flag, but I mean, there's gotta be something normal here.
Not to be a man-hater or anything. Actually, no, fully to be a man-hater. Fully to be a man-hater.
Oh, okay, I guess she also just doesn't like men. I mean, you could have brought that up when you were theorizing on why your relationships with men might be going
See, I'm coming at this from a different angle. I think this is fake and gay. I don't think it's true and straight. I think she got buzz off of people hating on her aesthetic, and is just leaning into it.
Really? I'm starting to connect the dots. Now, when I first started looking into nose ring theory, I didn't think that I would take
I'm pretty sure people are getting rage baited.
it seriously at all. I thought it would just be a good laugh. But the more I looked into it, the more I think that it might actually hold some weight, because I did find quite a number of studies that have strong correlations between individuals with a lot of piercings and tattoos and how they are perceived and who they attract. This study seems to indicate that people with piercings...
How is this, like, groundbreaking scientific knowledge? These are like boomer-level platitudes. Don't put a bumper sticker on a Bentley. When it comes to tattoos. You want to be taken seriously? Have a clean-shaven face. What else do they say?
Piercings and tattoos scored significantly higher than those without for sensation-seeking and risk-taking behaviors.
Clean your room, bucko!
This other study that I found seems to indicate that people with piercings and tattoos, specifically
My body is my temple. Cut your hair, son.
women, scored significantly higher for extroversion and assertiveness, meaning they are more aggressive socially. This study that I found in Psychology Today examines how people with tattoos and
Strong handshakes only.
piercings are perceived, and the most popular finding was that they are perceived to be more sexually promiscuous, and that they tend to attract people who are looking for more casual relationships than serious ones. And many other studies seem to point to people with piercings and tattoos having higher correlations with impulsivity and more experience with trauma and adversity. This study from BMC Psychology seemed to find a strong...
I mean, I could have told you that. Personally, you could probably infer that I'm rather conservative with certain ideas. I'm not even talking politically, I'm talking personality type. Because I don't have any tattoos. Other people have tattoos. For me, that idea of permanence it's too much for me, personally. Other people, they don't see it the same way. So they would probably score higher on certain psych traits like openness or risk behavior.
Strong correlation between body modifications and people who experienced childhood abuse and neglect. And this one really stood out to me. This one found a notable prevalence of individuals with a high number of body modifications and borderline personality disorder. Now, this is not
That checks out.
to say that individuals with piercings and tattoos are all degenerate problem children undeserving of love. I myself have a belly button piercing and an entire side piece, and I find myself to be pretty well adjusted and have had
A side piece.
a lot of success in my relationships. But it does beg the question, could there be any legitimacy to the nose ring theory, or is it mostly just something that jerks shout at people they disagree with online when they happen to have a nose ring? My ultimate conclusion? Probably both. Obviously, even with all of these studies and research papers, you're never going to be able to make a correct, sweeping blanket
Plural relationships. You already failed. Polyamory? Ew.
generalization about every one kind of person who looks a certain way. In the case of the first video we watched, where the girl is describing her issues with relationships with men, we know that people did at least initially find her very attractive, as she even cites at the end of the video that I cut off that both men and women have described completely falling in love with her. And when I first listened to her story, I wasn't even making any judgments about her physical appearance. I was truly waiting for the other shoe to drop of when she was going to describe some consistent patterns of behavior that might lead to all of this correlation.
I mean, the black pill here, the truth nuke, is that what you look like determines how people will perceive you. I mean, you're only getting this insight here at Third Eye Global.
In her case, I definitely think that being a vocal man-hater was probably the linchpin in the disruption in her relationships with men, but certainly not all women with piercings and tattoos feel that way. In fact, here are some examples of super pierced and tattooed girls in very happy relationships with men.
No revenge because my BF and I have a relationship most people can only dream of and are committed to each other for eternity. Yeah, I just don't know if I have it in me to date Harley Quinn. Fucking Morticia Adams over here. I don't know. I know some of you are folding for the clowns. This is my girlfriend. She's one of Sauron's minions. Mom, meet Bethany. She's actually a demon spawned from Malak. Dude, it's because all these guys just want a piece of strange. Okay? People say, this is what no pussy does to a motherfucker. No, I've seen what it does, okay? And it's much worse. This is why you never goon. Men will overlook everything as long as they're getting their pee-pee touched. They'll do anything for that ass.
What is this? What is this, please?
Doing my pretty boyfriend's eyeliner and realizing I finally feel safe, secure, and loved for who I am in a relationship. What? Bro, I don't have time to entertain this. I got bills to pay.
Also, it's so funny how they always go for the nerdy gamer guys. But this is what makes the nose ring theory so complex.
Well, why do you think that is? Think about that one. It's because nerdy gamer guys probably are not actualized.
Because if the first video were to be enough to
soy attract soy, iron sharpen iron. Yo, these are the weak men that create hard times. So then the strong men can create the good times.
prove that it's accurate, then all of these other videos should be enough to disprove it, right? At the end of the day, the nose ring theory is...
Which way, Western man? Barefoot pregnant trad wife? Or goth e-girl mommy? That's a tough one.
...is just that. A theory. An idea worth discussing. Is it true that people with a lot of tattoos and piercings tend to be a bit more rebellious, chaotic, and traumatized? Yeah, probably, but does it make them inherently undateable?
It makes them evil.
No. Some of them are. Some of them are absolutely undateable, but not all of them. As with most things, it's a case-by-case scenario, and it's always more important to pay attention to how a person behaves or what they believe in than it is to try and find secret clues in how they look or dress. Anyway, that has been my analysis on nose ring theory. If you liked my coverage, please drop a like on the video, consider subscribing. We are so close to the big 500,000.
Chat, you think you'd treat me the same if I had a nose ring? Be honest, chat. Would I have as much aura as I do with a nose ring? Metal on my face? Part clanker now? No shot. A lot of you would stop watching. There's a lesson in there. Unsubscribe. Sorry, bud.
The big 500,000 subscribers, and drop any comments that you have on this.
A lot of you probably would have never watched me because immediately you're writing me off.
Subject down below, because that also helps boost me in the algorithm and grow my channel. And if you want even more from me than you can find here, consider joining my Patreon at patreon.com/thedadvocate for early access to my videos,
The Dadvocate?
exclusive content, and exclusive merch that you can't get anywhere else. Thank you so much for watching all the way until the very end. I will catch you in the next one. Until soon.
What side of YouTube am I on, bro? Is this the mythical red-pilled woman? We gotta get out of here. Follow me on kick.com/Philion.